And we're back! Welcome, everyone, to Cavalry episode 151.
Let's celebrate in a way we did not celebrate last week.
That's right.
No, we
saving it
said
for the 156, right?
156 will mark our 5-year anniversary. Am I doing the math right? Our 5-year. Okay.
No, 3-year. 3-year.
Oh, okay, whatever. But anyway, thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's good to be here. Johnny made me laugh this weekend. Did you ever end up posting that video of you promoting the show?
Oh, I don't think you said to do it, and then I
because
thought
you were
I
like,
did it.
It was so funny, and then you were like, oh, I forgot to post this. Oh well. And I'm like, what was the point of post? Did you really think by posting it you were gonna get all these people to come?
I know.
So the point of posting it was just to make everybody laugh.
I know. I
So
should.
who cares?
Then I can still post it. Whatever.
Yeah, you can still post it now.
I'll post it as a story.
Yeah.
So check out @JohnnyComic on Instagram.
No, but just it was very funny. Johnny was tell us about
it. Was so true
show.
though. Like the feature was very funny, and just neither of us like it was just one of those crowds that like laughs nothing, or like you'll tell a joke that's like, oh, here's my ace in the hole just to get a laugh and take a breath, and then that doesn't work, and you're like, wait a minute, this crowd is broken. And then and then afterwards they're all like, oh, that was a good show, and like, but the video was just like me acting like comics, and they're like, oh man, killed it last night, thanks so much, Dallas, for coming out and showing your colors, it was so great, we got another one tonight. But it was like, oh my god, they were so polite, they just sat there politely. Oh man, I was riding the wave. Punchline, polite smile. Punchline, polite smile.
Well, I just loved when you were like, too, it was like, oh, St. Patrick's Day, you know what that means? 40% of the reservations never showed.
Which is true. It was like supposed to be packed, but it was
just love that, like, someone's bright idea is like, oh yeah, man, I'll plan our epic St. Patrick's Day weekend. We'll start do the bar crawl at 10 a.m. and then to cap it off at 8 o'clock at night, we'll go to the stand-up comedy show.
And so, yeah, we'll sit quietly.
You moron, you're not making it to 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny too, because I always forget about St. Patrick's Day. I guess it was on a weekend this year, obviously. And some club owner was like, we were going over dates. He's like, yeah, I've got St. Patrick's Day weekend, but you probably don't want that. I was like, well, I don't care. That's fine. I'll do it.
Is the pay the same?
Is it? Yeah. Like overrating my artistic integrity. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I hate working. What is it again? St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that's when crowds can be annoying. Oh, not like those other weekends when the crowds are so great.
Yeah, when they're all great.
But you're gonna hate to hear this because. So wait, how was Saturday then? Was Saturday better?
Well, Saturday was great. Saturday was phenomenal. It was like such a breath of fresh air. It was great.
Because that was my experience with that club. I was like, I had complaints about other things, but I was like, the crowds were like great. They were like fun and.
Oh, when you were at Laugh Camp?
Yeah, when I was
both
at Laugh
shows?
Camp. One time at Laugh Camp.
Both shows? Yeah.
It sounds so stupid. You're like, oh, when you were at Laugh Camp, it sounds like we're dork comedians.
Did you take Kyle Cease's Laugh Camp?
What a pull. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Oh.
Someone should figure out what that guy's doing.
Yeah, I think he's doing motivational speeches.
Well, this is the time for a guy like, if you're a con artist, you are living in just peak. Yeah. This is your boom. You know, like the 80s, the comedy boom for the 80s. This is the con artist boom. Like has never been a better time to be a grifter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't not make money.
Yeah.
So Saturday was better. What was the hotel room. Did you stay in a hotel room with the highest ceilings you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah,
Wasn't that incredible?
I thought of you. I was like, oh, Aaron just told me this is going to be, they have high ceilings, nice rooms, and it was super nice. I was like laying in my bed and I was thinking, this is such a waste of money. Like,
yeah,
what am I going to
fit like
you could fit another floor?
My
Yeah.
only theory is that it's like such an old building. It looks like a converted office type building. And then
Yeah.
that floor, whatever floor that you're staying on, is just, they're like, well, we're not going to, either it's historically preserved in a way where we can't add floors in between. But I've never seen anything like it. It's like literally you're laying there and you're like, I'm like a billionaire. Like you're never in a room sleeping with those high
Right.
ceiling. I don't even know how to describe it to people. It's like
It's like if
you
there
could be
was three
standing on a,
floors but no floors. It was like that's how high it was.
yeah. I think if I have like a 30-foot extension ladder or something, like I don't think I could reach the ceiling with it. And the
No.
windows were like, because of that, the windows go all the way up. So like you needed a motorized machine to like open and close your shades. You probably never even opened your window shades, but
Well, they started open. Or were they motorized? Because I would
I
like,
think
I'd
they were
have to whip
motorized.
it. I had to whip it till I get it to
Oh,
shut.
see, no, you probably broke it.
Oh, probably. Because is it supposed to be motorized?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same room.
Well, because I like whipped it and I was like, oh, it didn't shut. And then I went to the bathroom and I came back and I was like, oh, wait, it is shut. So maybe I like whipped it
Oh,
and
you just,
started it
like-
and then it kept going after I walked away. I don't know.
That's so funny. I could have sworn I didn't shut these.
Was there a remote or how do you get it to go?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I think there might have been like a wall panel or a button or something.
Oh, yeah, I did not see that for sure.
Well,
The lobby was like a train station, like a subway station, right?
yeah, yeah.
Of the building,
And then
yeah.
the funniest part is then all of this that we're talking about, this crazy hotel, and it was like a Holiday Inn Express or something. Wasn't it literally is it literally or a Hampton Inn?
No, it's yeah, it was either a Hampton or a Hyatt.
Yeah, so it's like some super cheap like
Okay.
style chain place, but then like one of the more unique
Yeah.
rooms I've ever stayed in. So there you go, Laugh Camp. Send your kids to Laugh Camp.
Yeah, this summer.
It actually kind of sounds like a good wholesome insult for like if you bomb, like if you're in an office meeting and you try a joke and like somebody needs to take a couple of weeks and go to Laugh Camp.
Oh yeah, that's in St. Louis. Oh gosh. So I told you I told you about my bit where I like take a can on stage and I just drink it throughout my set, but it's not open. And then at the end I'm like, what the heck? And then I open it, you know? I never told you about that.
I don't think so.
That's like my bit. I love it. It's because it's fun because I'm just drinking I'm drinking either a beer or a soda the whole show. And then with like 10 minutes left to take a sip and I'm like, wait a minute, what the, oh, and then I open it right next to the mic. And I mean, if it doesn't work, I just look like an idiot. But when when it works, people laugh really hard because they're like, he's been drinking that the whole show. Because they don't make a big deal of it. And so I go before the show started on Friday, of course, it had to be Friday. I go to the bartender. Hey, can I get an unopened beer? Because it's for a bit I do. He's like, yeah, sure. So he gives it to me. I put it on the stool. And I do like a bit, like one of my first bits. I sit on the stool and the can falls off and just lands. I was like, in my head, I'm like, fuck, there goes that bit. They all know it's not open.
Right.
So I go, oh, my beer fell. And I go, all right, well, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Cheers. And then I open it, not thinking at all, and it just explodes. And I'm like, oh shit. And I set it on the stool, and it's just like one of those volcanoes, just foam. I'm like,
sure.
And I'm like, god damn it. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And I said from the stage, I start talking to the bartender. I was like, that wasn't the bit. I like have to explain him. Oh, I have this great bit where I threw a beer on the ground and then I make a big fucking mess on the stage.
I like how you're complaining about the audience, yet you open the show by spilling an unopened beer and then dousing yourself and then explaining to a bartender in the back that this is not the comedy.
This is not the bit. And I had to explain the bit to the bartender.
If that was how you wrote it, it would be super funny to be like, oh, I dropped my beer. Oh, well, let's just if you make a big deal about it, blow up in
if I was a children's Saturday morning clown show.
I don't know, it's making me laugh.
Oh God.
That's something you
No,
learn at Laughs
I
Camp.
opened the show, but that was probably 5 minutes in, so I didn't ruin the show, and it's not my fault because the feature went up. He did well, but they didn't respond well to him, and I opened the show. I was like, it's St. Patrick's Day. I was like, oh, you got to address St. Patrick's Day, and I was like,
Right.
I didn't fucking sit in my hotel room writing St. Patrick's Day jokes. And so I just went on stage and I was like, hi, tighty toy. Hi, hey, do we all have a happy St. Patty's Day? And they were like, what the fuck? And then I was like, all right, well, did you guys know St. Patrick is actually not from Ireland? Because my brother told me that day. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah, he was from Britain. Anyway, I didn't have a joke. Huh? You ever get that where you're like, oh man, I'll just get in the zone. I'll just be
all the
free. I'll be
time.
free and loose.
That happened to me the other day because I did a show it was started at like 2:00 in the afternoon. And I was like, it was just making me laugh all day because it's like, oh my God, this is so perfect. I can go on, you know, I'll be home by 4. I don't have to be guilty about like not going out that night. So I can just stay in. I'd already done a set. I was like, this is amazing. And why can't all short shows start at 2:00? This is like so, and it sounded so old and it was making me laugh in my head, like this is who I am or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, I'm just gonna talk when I go on stage, I'm gonna really like talk about that. And I'll probably go on for like 5 minutes just riffing about it. It's like 30 seconds in. It's like, you know, nothing left to say. They weren't laughing. There's nothing else to really say about it. They're like, okay, you're old. You have a kid. I get it. You know, God, I might want to come up with something.
So when you're on stage and you're like, oh fuck, I didn't have a punchline. I thought we would just kind of fucking,
Yeah, yeah. Who needs a punchline? You know, just be funny.
Oh,
never works.
But I'll tell you what did work is I did do like 5 minutes. I did like, well, not 5 minutes, but I did a lot more time on that joke Saturday night. The joke where I do smoking weed off my son's dick. I did that joke. Oh man, I did it on Friday. Ouch. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, they don't sound like a crowd that was gonna be into it.
Whew. But so Saturday I did the joke where I'm a family guy, so if you're thinking of taking me out back and trying to get me to smoke weed off your dick, I'm gonna have to pass. So I'm a family. The only dick I'm smoking weed off is my son's. And Saturday night got laughs, and then I just audibly hear this lady go, "Not cool." And I just laid into her about just how like, it being a comedy show and just her
Like,
thinking I'm serious. Like I would
I
really do that.
Did you think I thought that's what cool people do? She's like, that's not cool. Yeah, it's not like the Fonz.
Smoking weed off his son's dick.
God, man.
Hey.
Wish I could be that cool. Not cool. That would not make you popular, man. That is not the way to win friends and influence people. I have one question about the joke. How do you smoke weed off of something?
Well, that's the first joke. That's what I mean. That was the first thing. Is like the joke was, oh, I'm a stupid person that's not cool. And I think I heard somewhere you smoke or you do coke off of someone. So I was like, well, I'll say smoke weed.
I see, yeah,
so that was the first. It's layers.
Yeah, it's a lot of layers to this bit. Maybe that's holding audiences up a little bit. They just can't wrap their stupid little minds around it.
I should try it because I've done it 4 or 5 times. I should try it saying coke like it's not smoke, just to see if that's the speed bump that people are like, wait a minute, what?
What if that is what it is? And everyone now the bits just fine. That lady sees it again. She goes, oh, I get it now. That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, you're cool. You're popular, sir. Yeah.
That's what she was saying. Not when she said not cool. She was like, you're not cool for not knowing how to smoke weed.
Yeah. Yeah. Your child's dick is for coke, not weed.
Duh.
Hello.
There's your tag. There's your tag right there. Oh boy.
Well, did you have shows this weekend?
Yeah, I just did. I just in town. I did. Heidi had her gum surgery. I think I talked about that. Her
Yeah.
gum surgery. So I kind of cleared the calendar. Except I did
Oh,
have
that's
some local shows. So I did this. Like I said, this show at a coffee shop, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which again, just was heaven for me. And it was like it was pretty fun, you know. Like, and then it's funny, like all the stuff I used to complain about, and I think like comedians might complain about now, like 2 o'clock, it's still light out,
right. Mm-hmm.
people aren't into it, no one's drunk, you know. It's like it doesn't even enter my mind anymore.
Yeah,
It's
you too.
just
When
like,
we had our Would You Rather episode, you shared that like you'd be fine going to bed at 7 o'clock for the rest of your life and doing only 5 p.m. shows.
yeah. I was talking about this guy. He's a Seattle headliner, you know, legend status, Brad Upton, and now he's
Yeah.
really hit the big time with the
Dry
dry bar. He's
bar.
like selling out all over the country. But when you look at his calendar, because you know he's got an older fan base, so he's like, I'll be in Houston, Texas at 4 and 6:30. And you're like, oh my god, that's a dream. I mean, think about that, because then you could do this dude. You fly in. He probably has to fly in the night before, right? You get a nice
Because
dinner.
his shows are so early
So
the
early, you
next
can't find a
day.
flight from the West Coast to get you there early
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
So then you do your show, you're done by 7 o'clock. You go out for a nice dinner, you know,
Catch a
watch
flight
the
home the
game,
same night as
and
your
fly home
show.
that night. I did a gig in Phoenix with a guy, and he was coming from LA. I forget his name. He was a nice guy. And he was literally doing that. He was flying home that night. He'd found a
Wow.
Southwest flight that left Phoenix. So he didn't even have to spend the night. I was like, oh my God, it didn't even occur to me that that was even possible. But I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Genius.
Yeah. So anyway.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh, you know, I can't believe I didn't even mention it. Ryan, our fan,
oh
Cavalry
yeah.
fan, came to the show. Met him, sent Andrew a picture of him, gave him
Yeah.
his swag bag.
Now I know what he looks like. Did he come on Friday or Saturday?
He can thank the Lord he came on Saturday.
Oh,
Otherwise, we would have lost a listener and a
usually that's how it works though. Usually if there's someone you know or family member or somebody you care about, they come to the shittier show. So that's good.
Yeah.
You got lucky. Well,
Yeah, so that was
thanks,
nice.
Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for bringing your buddy. Said if we're in the area next time, he'll bring more people.
Okay.
All right.
Hold him to it.
Well,
When I go back to Laugh Camp,
next
I
summer.
want all my friends to be there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So yeah, I've been working I want to put grass in the backyards. That's been the big project lately. I'm moving a lot of dirt around, and then
How are you doing it? Are you like unrolling sod, or are you
I
like
think I'm
sowing
gonna do
seeds?
sod. I think I'm just gonna go ahead. I've had so many unsuccessful overseeding attempts that like
What do you mean? Like that's the problem? Is you overseeded?
no, like you know, like that's like a term like where you overseed, as in you already have a lawn, but then you put down dirt and fertilizer, and then you drop new grass seed to try to like strengthen the lawn that you do have, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's just not working. I don't know. It might be like too shady or something, but I'm pretty determined. So I'm gonna
Okay.
go. They think I'm gonna go, but it's like I
Well, when
keep
did you start doing it? Because doesn't it take like a couple years?
no. I don't
Well,
think
because
so.
we had landscaping at the beginning, the last, I don't know when it was, but it was before last, it was like the beginning of the last summer, and it still hasn't grown. But they like put seed all over the dirt because it was like they got rid of like landscaping and it just made it all grass because I didn't want to have to, you know,
Yeah.
and it's still, I mean, now you can start to see grass thinly coming up,
Well,
but
this
there's
is
still
like the time of year. I'd say if it doesn't come in this year, you probably have to like I said, overseed it or try again, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
But it's uh there's just so much dirt. I don't know if I told you this, but like there's so much dirt back there. It's all weed infested. And then the previous owners had made like a dirt bike track in our backyard. And I'm like
Yeah.
digging out all this dirt and trying to level it. And it's like such a pain in the ass. And then it like occurred to me, it's like, I should have just never done any of this and left it a dirt bike track. Like that's way better. I'm doing all this because I imagine like I want my daughter to be able to play in like grass. Like that
Yeah,
sounds fun to me as a kid. Like, what's more fun than having a dirt bike track?
that's true. It's
I mean,
more
this
fun
might be
than
all a huge mistake. And now, like, I'm like the old Scrooge, stupid. The dirt bike track's stupid,
she's gonna turn 8 and she's gonna be like, Dad, I'm really into dirt bikes. Can you make me a
Yeah,
dirt bike track?
that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Ah,
How old are wait, what are the ages of your kids now?
10, 8, and 4.
Wow, look at you. Just rattle that off so fast.
I feel like I've said it a lot of times in the last 2 days. So that's
Well,
how I
10,
know.
8, and 4. So you're really running the game. I mean, you've experienced up to the age of 10. I've noticed everyone, it doesn't matter how old your kid is, they're like, maybe we've talked about this before, but this is happening to me a lot lately because now Ginger's 2. You know how
Mhm.
there's like the terrible 2s?
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, 3 is when it's really bad. 3 is when,
And then she's a
I,
three-nager.
yeah.
That
And
is
then
a
I feel
cute
like they just
name.
keep saying it. And then it'll be, oh, wait till she's 13. Wait till she's
Oh,
16. Wait till she's
yeah.
21. Wait till, like, can't they just, when are you over the hump?
Yeah, terrible 2s, three-nager, foreskin. It's just they've got something for everything.
5 does 5 sucks.
The 5 asshole age.
The 6 piece of shit. The piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Yeah, cute name for everything. Wait, how old is she?
Seven to my life, please.
So is she 3? Or is she 2?
She's 2.
Okay.
Do you agree with that? Is 3 worse than 2?
Um I don't know. I've gone through it 3 times and I don't
Yeah.
remember. And Phoebe's not that far away. I'll say 4 is pretty sweet though.
4 is sweet. Okay.
She's
So,
4. She turned 4 in December, and like it's just like she's had like this super growth spurt, not physically, but just like mentally talking. And she's like, she's just at the cutest age right now. It's just so adorable.
yeah. And she'll eat like the food that you give her and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like the biggest challenge right
Yeah.
now. That and trying to potty train her, but like
Yeah.
she just won't eat. And then it's like so day to day. Like, oh, like you're
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, she ate lasagna last night. All right, that's gonna be my thing. We'll just do lasagna. And then the next night, it's like, I had that last night. Which in your first, you're like, what are you crazy? You love this. And then you're like, well, if someone tried to give me lasagna 2 nights in a row, I'd probably be like, really again with a lasagna?
Speak for yourself.
Well, I know.
A piece every night if I could.
Anyway, so I don't know. Do you have any other pre-show discussion
Discussion points. Let's see.
before we get into the meat and potatoes?
You know what?
The program.
Let's just okay. We'll talk about this. This is just something I had as a discussion point. What do you think is the statute of limitations on spoilers?
Oh.
Let's say
Well,
TV shows first.
yeah. Okay. Because here's what I would say. If it's not a twist-based show or movie where
Yeah.
like the twist is the whole thing,
Yeah.
then I'd say like, a week after it comes
Like
out.
if we're watching Lost, like or whatever,
Yeah.
let's say Lost is on, you can
But
talk
that's
about what happened.
no, maybe not, because you could argue Lost is like a twist-based, like Sixth Sense, right? The Sixth Sense has
Right.
come out. It's been out for years, but I would still be like hesitant to just talk about the ending because I'm like,
Still today?
yeah, well, like on this podcast right now, because I'm like, what if someone hadn't seen it and wants to see it? First of all, me and you, we know that we don't even we can talk about the ending without like saying it explicitly.
Right.
And also, like, that's the whole thing. If you know that going into the movie, you don't even want to see the movie.
Yeah.
There's no point in seeing it. So there's like if you were like, I don't know, like that Last of Us show. I mean, like, that's not like a twist based show. I feel like so it's like yeah, you get a week, you know. But if it's like the
But
better
what
the
if someone
twist, the longer
dies?
you
Like, what if
get.
someone dies? That's a spoiler. It's not a
Kind of,
twist.
but someone dies in every show or movie, you know, except for like
Did you
Toy
watch
Story.
what was the dragon show? The Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
You,
House of the Dragon.
no, no, or the Game of Thrones itself, the
Oh, the
original.
original Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Yes.
like can you when people would die on that? I mean, I didn't watch it, but like when people would die on that, can you talk? You think you can talk about it the next week?
Yeah. Yeah, you get a week on a show like that. I mean, like talk about it where? Like you mean like on like
Like this. I mean, you
internet
and
or
I,
on a
we have
podcast?
talked.
Are we being
We talked about
broadcast?
the old man episode by episode.
Well, yeah, but
For
it's easy on here because you can just yell, you know, because like, hey, I'm about. I think it's nice to do like a spoiler alert or something. But I'll tell you what got spoiled for me, and it kind of sucked.
what?
Was that Banshees of Inisherin? Have you seen that?
No.
So I
You
can't even.
told me that did you tell me that it was really funny?
Yeah, I don't know if I did, but yeah, I thought it was really funny. Yeah,
Okay.
but there is like something that happens in it that I feel like is like sort of shocking, and like it's cool not to know that that's gonna happen going
Okay.
into it. And I didn't have that experience. Someone I read on Twitter or something and got it
Oh,
spoiled for me. So, but in the fairness of them, it had been I had plenty of opportunities to see it before then.
yeah.
You know, it was out of theaters, so like,
Do you think I would like that? You recommend that or no?
yeah, I think you'd like it. Yeah, I mean, so I think it's like controversial in the sense like half the people I talk to think it's like super depressing and didn't enjoy it, and the other half thinks it's like really funny and I mean it's definitely dark, you know.
Okay. Huh. All
But
right.
you might. I'm actually. I actually do not know if you'd like it. I'm torn.
All right. Well,
It's not
if I
like
see it, I'll let you know.
yeah, yeah. But what would you say is the statute of limitation on spoilers?
I don't know. I mean, movies, if it's been out a while and you say, okay, we're going to do a spoiler, but just to blurt it out, if it's a movie that's like come out in the last year, at the minimum, that's pretty dangerous. Without a warning,
I think I
people
try to
could get
give.
mad at you.
I try to give warnings no matter what.
Yeah.
But then the worst is when you say the warning like, "Hey, this, you know, spoiler alert," and then there's people like, "I haven't seen it. Don't talk about it." It's like, but I just gave you, you know, so go
What
away.
are you talking about when you're like in person?
Yeah, if you're like at a party or something and you're like, oh, I just saw this and oh, so if you haven't seen it, and like, I haven't
So
seen it, don't talk about it.
then the onus. So then you're forcing them to leave.
Yeah, then walk out of the conversation. Why should it be? I gave you. That's what a warning is for. Like a train doesn't like go choo choo, and then if you don't move, the train just goes on a different track somewhere, and that's where the train's going. The choo choo is the warning to get out of the way.
It's a terrible analogy.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, but the train's on tracks. You're just out of nowhere. Hey,
I'm
guess
on a
what? There's a
track
train coming at you.
to talk about the Banshees of Inisherin, and if you don't want to hear it, I suggest you get off the tracks.
All right.
I don't
All
know.
right.
Maybe that's not a good analogy, but yeah, I feel like if I were in that situation, go, oh, I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna go over here. Go ahead. You know, I'd be gracious that way.
Well, I told you about my dickhole friend Jason Russell. He'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I shouldn't. Or you say anything about a movie, you say you like it, and he'll get all pissed off. Or you'll be like, oh, I don't want to spoil anything. Oh, great! Now I know there's something that's going to get spoiled, so I'm going to be watching for it the whole time.
Yeah.
No winning.
I know, but you know what? I think I've been through all this before, but I kind of agree with him slightly in the sense that like
Don't do that. Don't go there. Luckily, he does not. He will not listen to an episode if he's not on it. So I think I'm in good shape here.
okay, fine.
But go
But
ahead.
just like when people are like, "Oh, just wait till the end. Just watch. Just make sure you're watching at the end."
That's not what I'm talking about, though. I'm not even
I know.
saying that. Did I tell you what I did? I'm sure I told this on the podcast, but for him, you know that Spider-Man, spoiler alert, the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse cartoon movie. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah,
The animated
yeah.
one?
Yeah, I saw that. That was
Just
good.
to tease him, I said, I was like, oh yeah, oh, you're gonna see that? Oh, okay, well, Spider-Man dies. And he fucking does. And I totally forgot. And he was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, but of course I just laughed.
But that's actually a great twist. Like, it's a good way to for him to think it's not that Spider-Man's not going to die,
Right.
because
And when he
surely
did
Johnny wouldn't have.
die, yeah,
Right,
when he
Johnny.
did die,
If he
it's like,
does die, Johnny's not going to actually tell me that he dies. So you're probably thinking the whole time like, oh, he's going to get out of this, and then it's probably really surprising when he does die.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he dies like what, 15 minutes into the movie, so it's like you didn't even know I
Yeah. Well,
spoiled
and
it.
it's just like
You didn't
I
even know I
forget.
spoiled it to you until after you figured it out.
Well, it's just like one of the Spider-Mans. There's like
Right.
8
It's
of
not
them or
a
something.
yeah.
This fucking shit is so stupid. Like oh, no, we talked. That's what we talked about last week. But man, I'm strong on that. It's like this multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and get out of this as fast as possible.
But that was the first one, right? Was that the one you brought that up, right?
Yeah,
That was like the
I think
first
so.
multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like cheating.
Yep.
Oh, Spider-Man died. I mean, he didn't really. There's
Right.
never
Yeah,
been
exactly.
more.
He didn't.
There,
Yeah,
we've
they
never had
saved
more
him.
Spider people.
Yeah. They came back and saved him in his Spider-Verse or whatever.
Yeah, who gives a shit.
Hey, they're coming out with a sequel to that movie, I think.
No, thank God. That's what we need. More Spider-Man.
More Spider-Men in the world.
I was reading somewhere where they think these Marvel movies are finally starting to like
Wind
lose their
down.
shine, like each
Well,
one
yeah,
is
the
not
biggest
doing
one
as good.
out is Ant-Man 4. So I think
But I mean, that's like the problem with like everything. I guess the problem with everything is like it has to keep growing forever, or else it's like we decide it's a failure at some point. And like the Marvel thing, you would never, when it started, you never would have thought like, oh, this is going to carry the movie business for the rest of our lives. You'd be like, oh yeah, they could do like a nice, cool run of movies or something, or like do a little trilogy, and
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Or build a movie studio around
Yeah.
this whole franchise. Yeah.
So I'm kind of like of two minds about it. It's like, well, of course they're not as good. I mean, they made like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like on their.
they used what? Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, and now it's like
they're on their half-assed characters.
yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange. Only dorks knew who that was before the movies. Ant-Man. What's the most?
Those are like the main. That's what I'm saying. Like there's ones.
But like, who's the most minute character that has his own movie? Like the Six Rings. Shun-Chi and the Six Rings or whatever that one is. Like, come on.
Maybe I'm gonna hope that you said all that right, but man, it sounds racist. Just a guy in Wisconsin. Shun-Chi and the Six Rings. I mean, get out of here with this horse shit. What happened to Captain America? Oh, Johnny.
Yikes.
Think you need to
151 episodes and they were out. No, but the Eternals. I mean,
that one too is just like, I don't know what's going on, man.
What was the one that what's his name? The guy that played Joker, Jared Leto. He was like some vampire Marvel guy too. Can't remember that one. Morbius.
I mean, I realize I'm not the like target demo either. Like, isn't that weird when you get to an age and you realize like, oh, I'm no longer I'm not who they're thinking about anymore when they're dreaming this shit up. It's kind of sad. It's like for the longest time, when you're 18 to probably like 32 or whatever, you're like, these are the people we have to win. Like if we win them, they can influence the rest of society and get everybody. And now I'm in the like trickle down part. You know what I mean? We're in the like, oh, if other people, if this younger people decide it's cool, then it works its way to us eventually.
All right.
Very sobering to think about.
Yeah. We'll be dead soon.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we'll be dead soon.
What is it,
Don't worry. We're all gonna die, and there's no multiverse.
That's
There's
right.
no
Not in the real world, folks.
there's no little portal with 6 other Andrews walking through it. So you guys better get your fill now.
There's only one.
That's what
Ah,
that is funny. Like in the multiverse, only like interesting people come. You know, it's
Or
only
you-
like the other Spider-Man walk through, or
yeah. The other Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, or Green Goblin. It's never just like, oh, here's like 9 of the same bus drivers.
Yeah.
All meeting.
Hey, look, there's bus passenger number 6.
Yeah. Why don't they ever want to go through the portal? They probably see it too.
Oh.
Anyway.
All right, should we get into topics?
Yeah. You should go first.
All right, I'll go first so you can think of a topic.
Thank
you. Now I say this with knowing full well that you and I both have dogs. I don't think pets should be a thing. I don't think people should have pets. It's really yeah.
This is your spiciest one ever.
Well, I'll tell you why I came up with it. Oh my God. I was cleaning shit out of my backyard for about a half an hour after dinner tonight. And the garbage can is so full because it's full of like rain and frozen rain and shit. And it's like a kitchen sized garbage can filled 3/4 full of shit. I could not even lift it. I had to drag it across the yard to the garbage can at the street and then dump it. And it was the most horrifying because the shit was in there. I had to dump the shit from the
you guys have a can just for dog shit.
Just for dog shit. And it's like a lid. It's like a kitchen
it up
garbage
completely
one.
And then take it out to the trash.
Well, that's not the plan, but I mean it's what happened this time. Yes.
It sounds like you're building like a Home Alone trap.
But it was so gross because I dump it. It's like the shit comes and then a big chunk of ice shit, like frozen shit water, and then the stuff that wasn't frozen, the water, and it was just foul.
I mean, how long have you gone between picking up dog poop in your backyard?
A long time. Well, the
all
snow
winter.
just melted. I mean, the snow, it would melt, it would come, and the dogs shit on our porch when there's snow out, which is ridiculous, but whatever. And so, and then her mom, Aaron's mom, comes to visit, and she'll like clean the poop because she's a saint, so she'll like clean poop. But I mean, it's ridiculous. My kids play football in the backyard, so it's like, well, they're gonna track shit all over the house because you can't play football and not step in tons of shit. So I was like cleaning it, and I was just thinking, why are we doing? I mean, I get it's nice to have a dog, I guess, like to pet, but like they're animals. Just let them be part of nature. We're already building buildings.
Well, it's too late for that. They can't. Whatever.
I'm not saying okay, we're going to change things. I'm just saying I don't think we should have ever done this. There's no putting the genie back.
But you don't get like the positive. You don't think it outweighs the like. I know you're in a bad mood right now because you just picked up on the top. But you don't think like, the comfort you can get. Maybe when you have 3 kids, like it changes because you got plenty of that,
Yeah.
But I think you get a lot from having a dog, You feel loved.
Sure. I'm not saying you don't get anything from it, but I don't think we're supposed to. Like,
well, that's a good argument. That's a good argument for like the PETA people. Like, what would they say? Is it right?
That's a good
to have a pet at all?
Because people treat their pets well. I mean,
I'm
talking about people that treat their pets well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like none of our dogs would ever be like, oh, I'd prefer to be out in the wild. But I'm not asking them. I'm saying
You're just saying if you could go in a time machine and stop
Yeah.
whoever domesticated the first cat or dog or whatever it was,
Yeah.
you say, "Hey, buddy, I know you think this is cool to have like your little wolf following you around.
It's unnatural.
I'm gonna have to pick up a lot of dog poop in a few thousand years. So just
And it's gonna be real
go
stinky.
ahead. It's gonna be real stinky. So go ahead and don't do that, please."
We have 2 dogs, 2 guinea pigs, and a leopard gecko.
The
Ugh.
other, see, it's funny, like, because we have a small dog. It's
Hmm.
very manageable for us. She's like poop small. She usually only poops on walks. So, like, I don't have a ton in the backyard and we don't have a ton of snow. So, it's like, if I do, I'll do a little roundup in the backyard. It's maybe like 2, 3, 4 piles at most. And I can use the same dog poop bag for all because she like poops
Oh
small,
wow.
you know? So, it's
Wow.
like a different experience. I understand that. But I
Yeah.
was the other pets sound weirder. Like the guinea pig and the lizard sounds harder to take care of to me than the dog.
Oh, the lizard, I don't the lizard pretty simple. I mean, you have to buy these maggot-looking worms, these mealworms, and feed it, but they don't even need to eat every day. You just have to keep it at temperature and have a heat bulb and a water thing in there.
Yeah, it's
And
like
that's, but also
sounded
I'm
like a
very
lot.
hands off. I'm like, hey, this is Duncan's pet, so he can he has to learn responsibility. So him and Aaron do it, and then the guinea pigs. That's just they're noisy and stink. They shit like all the time. It's just these little hard pellets. It's not even like shit. It's little pellets that are
Whose
hard.
idea was the guinea pig? Was that like your kids?
I think it was, yeah, it was Edie wanted something, and Aaron was like, "Oh, we got to get them a. That's a good thing to." But like they've been alive so long, and it's like the novelty has worn off.
Maybe they're from the multiverse. Maybe these
Oh
are
my god,
other guinea pigs.
they've died and been replaced by
Yeah, they
their.
just keep getting replaced by Doctor Strange to fuck with you.
uh,
Uh yeah, I don't know if I can get there on this one. I'm sorry. We're just Heidi, if she ever, not that she would ever listen, but like
she would lose
if
respect
it,
for me. I'm not saying I
lose
don't
respect
love
for
my
you, she would
dogs.
divorce me.
If what? If you backed me up?
If I backed you up on the idea that we aren't supposed to have pets, she would probably divorce me. Yeah. So I'm
Oh my gosh.
gonna
Well,
have to.
I wish I would have known that before I brought this topic to the table.
No,
A
I mean,
tall order.
the but I will say, don't. It is easier having a dog now than I imagine it was. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I was gonna say the world seems more dog friendly now than it did. I even since like we first got our dog, because like
Yeah.
I don't even check hotels anymore.
You bring
Remember-
it all the time?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
don't even
god.
check. I mean, like I know there's some hotels that aren't dog friendly, but then like if they ever were, I just be like, "What are you kidding?" You know? Well, then she's like, I'm blind. Whatever. I'll sign the thing. Just you
I'm
know,
blind, you ugly asshole.
you know what I mean? That's just it's funny to me that
Oh,
a
I would
hotel
never
would even
bring
try to
any
be.
dog, any of our dogs to the hotel because they as soon as they start barking, I'd be like, I'd fucking put a pillow over their face.
Oh well, that's the thing because that's what I mean. Our dog. I think that's why I have a different experience because she just doesn't. She just powers down when we bring her on the plane, bring her to a
It
hotel. I mean, she'll bark if someone
goes
like
into
knocks at
airplane
the
mode.
door or whatever, but she doesn't bark
Yeah,
because we leave. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what a lot of hotels say too. They're like, you are not allowed to leave your pet in the room unoccupied. You're like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll go ahead
And
and
you do
enforce
that?
that. Of course. What are we gonna just not bring our
Yeah.
dog in?
Yeah, that's the rule.
What are we just gonna follow their rules? Get out of
All right.
here. Yeah. So I don't know, buddy. I think the
All
world
right.
needs pets.
That's fine.
I hate to say
I
it.
knew it was a stretch as I was picking up all that shit.
I think you know what also I will say I think deep down you still you know agree you don't agree with yourself. You're in a bad spot.
It's well,
This
Noel,
traumatic thing
yes,
happened to
okay.
you.
I went overboard. I went overboard with my topic, but I don't want more dog. Like Aaron, she's like, "Oh, hey, what kind of dog are we
You
getting
also
when
have two
Batman dies?"
dogs. I wouldn't want two dogs. I don't think you're supposed to have two dogs. They're like, oh, the dog needs a friend. It's like, no, they don't. My dog would be so mad if we brought home another dog. Oh my god,
Well, that's what we
he'd be
thought
so
about
pissed off.
Batman. And he is actually, yeah, we were right. I think he gets annoyed. But sometimes he does play with him. Sometimes he has definitely breathed new life into Batman, but he's also been a pain in Batman's ass.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. All right. What do you got? What do you got?
all right.
What's your
Here's what I got.
I know this is gonna be a good one.
Okay. I'm trying to decide between two as I'm talking right now. All right, let's do this because we talked a little bit about like your topic. What was it like 2 weeks ago about technology is moving too quickly?
Yeah. Yep.
And it needs to slow down. I can't remember if I was skeptical at first or not, but I totally agree with you now. Like,
oh well, welcome to the club.
I'm with you 100 because it's this AI thing. This AI. I've heard enough about it and reading enough about it. Like, first of all, we're dead. It's like what we do, like comedians.
Mm-hmm.
These machines are gonna write it so much better than us. Like,
yeah,
once
so
they
much
learn
more
how to write a
efficient.
joke, they're gonna be way better at it than us. And then once they figure out how to just like, then anybody who's like good looking and can talk is gonna go up with like an hour worth of AI written jokes and they'll kill. It'll be way better than smoking weed off of your son's dick. No computer could come up with that. But so here's my take though. So then like that's not really everybody's fear. The big fear is what? That the robots will rise up, there'll be a big war, and they'll take over, or we will fight back and have to like basically be reduced to the Stone Age or whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everything's so interconnected. I mean, take Die Hard 4, for example. No, but everything's so interconnected. Like, if they're like, if the computers realize, like, oh, we have to, protect ourselves, or they're given some order, like, oh, I don't know. They'll just be like, oh, well, we know what the human's weakness is. We'll just drain finances. Right. We're all connected.
Flood the atmosphere with too much carbon dioxide or something. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's my point. Is that even if, here's why we're really screwed, is even if we could somehow win in a war against the machines, which I think we're both skeptical that we could win that. But let's just say we could. Who cares? Because then what's left? We're not built to survive they've not only have the machines have already beaten us in the sense that I could not live without the machines.
Right.
Like, what I'm not going to use GPS.
Yeah. What am I going to be, a farmer?
I'm going to be a farmer. I'm going to, read a map. Yeah. How to get somewhere. It's over. Either way, it's over.
I won't be able to get to my gigs.
I won't be able to get to my gigs. There's no way. Thomas Guide?
Yeah. Phones, right?
Phones. How would we do our podcast? I'm just saying we've already been rendered so soft by the machines that it really doesn't even matter now. It's already over, right? It's just like a matter of time, or like maybe we could just come to an agreement, like, okay, yes, machines, you can be in charge, but can we just keep, the movies, just keep making a few Spider-Mans every year for us, just AI, use your creative department, pump out 4 Spider-Mans a year. We'll do whatever you want. You guys run the world. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be your pets. We'll be the pets.
And you know what? We'll poop wherever you want. Just point us if there's like a certain area you want us to poop in.
I mean, we've got a pretty good system figured out with pipes and plumbing, how it is now, right?
Oh, yeah, but the machines probably think it's primitive.
Hey.
Oh, you poop in a toilet? Oh, gross.
You should be pooping in a interdimensional portal.
Quad.
Sending it to the shit dimension.
That's what that is like. They make interdimensional portals finally work, and the first thing we do is use him to poop.
To get rid of poop.
Finally, I know I don't have to flush.
Hey, have you ever thought about that though? Like, how many people are in the world and they shit, like we shit every day? Like, how much shit is being made all the time? Like, do you think we're making more shit faster than shit is decomposing into, soil or whatever? Like, how is the world not just 50% shit, Like, like you think about the dumps. Like there's dumps that are just hidden away and that's where all our trash is. But what about all of our poop?
Well, I hadn't thought about that. But it's
What
like,
about on
I
our
think
walk
it
in
breaks
Costa
down.
Rica? Where were we? We walked by that plant.
Mexico.
Oh,
Mexico.
God.
It's just an open air sewer. Oh my God, it was so gross. It was like a water treatment plant, which is
Yeah.
my point. Is like, I think that's what happens, is that reason why it doesn't pile up like plastic is actually true. We are like, each person consumes and discards more plastic more and more every year. And then
Well, I'm
there
not so
isn't
worried about that as much as the poop.
plastic isn't smelly. You're like, what's wrong with plastic? What would you rather have on your head? Plastic or a big thing of poop? God.
That's why I poop in 2-liter
to an idiot.
bottles.
Poop in portals. That's why we need to get these interdimensional portals going so we can poop in somebody else's dimension, let them deal with it. No, but I think it goes to in your sewer pipes, and it goes to like a treatment facility, and then they like it dissipates, and they just turns into water.
They pull the water out of your poop, but the poop has to go somewhere.
Well, we need to talk to someone smarter to figure this all out. Let's bring on a guest next week.
Not a whole lot smarter.
I mean, they are, of the scientists. If you are the poop scientist, you probably weren't like the top of your class,
Right.
What was I gonna say though? Damn.
Plastic about point. Plastic?
No.
Was it before I talked about poop?
It could have been. It doesn't matter now. Oh, I had Ginger had a. Does this ever happen to you? Ginger had like she's been sick and she had a diarrhea diaper.
Yeah.
I got some. I got some grossly. I got some on the side of my hand right here.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
It's like, God. So I immediately wipe it and get all the wipes and throw the diaper away. Wash my hands really good. And later you smell your hand and you can still smell it on your hand. You're like, gross. I wash my hands. I swear to God, I had to wash my hand 10 times
to get the shit smell off.
Just to get the smell. And I was thought I was going insane. I was using boiling hot water and scrubbing my hands for 5 minutes, and
yeah,
something going on there.
Oof, that's no good. You don't want that. You don't want to smell like poop on your hands.
So you want that? Or do you want plastic? I mean, really think about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, whatever. So to answer your question, no, I've never been taking a dump and wondered, man. Oh, because what they do say is that the cow shit, that is a problem. The cow farts and the poop.
That's the gas from
because it
methane.
Creates so much methane. Yeah. That does cause problems.
Yeah. That's ozone problems.
Yeah. And they say they've noticed in a suburban part of Madison that there's a specific ozone.
There's specific what?
There's one house that seems to be causing it. I don't know. Just read about that in the scientific.
Yeah, but they said it's not cow shit, it's dog shit. Something about dog shit.
One
the owner is accumulating it without emptying the garbage can. Oh, it was horrific.
It sounds
it was an orange disc of ice because it was shit water frozen.
But I just don't like your system.
Yeah, no, it was unintentional. It was just like, you know,
why even have that?
Just pile up.
Why even have that receptacle? Like, why not just like every once in a while, if you're gonna go collect, throw it in like a plastic garbage bag and then throw that garbage bag into the big trash.
Oh yeah.
Why even have like a little?
Yeah, I don't know, like a halfway.
Yeah,
spot.
that's like the diaper bucket. Remember, like the diaper genie? All these people trying to convince me to get.
Yes,
and then
it
it's like
that.
It's stupid. Just
that is very stupid. We had one with Edie when she was first born. We're like, this is dumb.
It was the dumbest thing ever. Shit. And then you're like buying special bags that fit into the like, what a racket the diaper genie is.
Yeah, they must just
they just trick new parents
off of all first-time parents. That's all it is. People that learn, oh, this is dumb. I'll never do this again.
And you're like, oh wow, a special plastic trash can that makes the poopy diapers not stink up the whole room, kind of. Or just take them out of your house.
Yeah.
Like go.
Well, that's why we have the halfway thing, is because it's just not realistic.
Oh, to walk it to
we have the little tool where you pick it up with a tong and then you drop it in the garbage can, so you can just walk around, put them in there, and then ideally you should dump it right away, but you're like, whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. And then, you know, 3/4 of a year goes by and it's too heavy to lift.
Maybe you should just dig like a giant pit in your backyard and see how long it takes to fill it
with shit.
Yeah, and then it's like an experiment, you know.
All right.
No, you don't listen to me.
That's an idea. I'll put that in the maybe pile.
Well, I'm just saying, because you were thinking like, how long? Where does it all go? You
know?
Yeah,
to see if it like goes into the earth.
If it just maybe it would like turn into compost or something. I don't think that works. That's something I thought for a while, like, because people have compost piles, and I never quite really understand it. I think we've talked about this too, but like, I was like, can you just throw like dog poop on there? Does that make it work? Because like manure,
right?
That's like
it does, but it's not supposed to. Like, I don't think you put people or dog poop.
How convenient,
right?
The kind of poop I have no access to and have to buy.
Yeah, versus the kind of poop I have high access
to. Right,
to.
Exactly. That's big manure talking. That's all that is.
Yeah, that's big manure. Anyway, all right. I forgot what your topic was.
I don't remember either.
Okay.
Oh, that
AI. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I mean, like, win the war, don't win. It's over. We lost the war already on AI. We've already lost. So
yeah, we should slow down.
The thing we should do now is enjoy the time we have left, and to figure out how are we going to live the most comfortable life possible underneath the dominance of these machines.
Very good. I agree. I'll back
Don't
that up.
struggle for, don't
you'll just look foolish.
You'll just embarrass yourself, humanity. Right. Aren't we embarrassing enough? Just go ahead.
Just surrender.
There are better.
Just ask politely that we still have our movies.
Yeah, just give us our movies, our 4 Spider-Mans a year, and leave us alone. All right. Let's wrap it.
Thanks,
everybody.
It's been a good one.
Good app. A lot of poop talk. We did not rob you. Go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon for post-show banter.
Leave a 5-star review. We'll with what you need backup on it. We'll
Yeah, we haven't done a guest backup topic yet, or in a while. So if somebody wants to do that would be great.
Perfect. All right, fantastic.
Thank you
on the post-show banter.
Everybody for listening to the Cavalry.
The Cavalry.